Oh yeah, I'm gonna be attracted to that. I'm nervous. Almost every single man cheats. Hear me out. Okay, no, that sounded weird. Hear me out.
Be like an idiot. Like, no.
I need a lot of space. Is it just me? Relationships have more cons than pros, so I just don't bother with that. Alright? Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be a little different. I'm going to do a get ready with me while I talk about the reasons why I've never dated. I'm going to try to use this mic while I do my makeup. Wrote down notes so I know what to talk about if I don't know my own life or reasons. Let me do that. Okay, now we're ready. Let's begin. Why am I nervous? One of the reasons I've never dated is simply because I'm not interested in dating. Just a little more background information. Growing up, I was just really focused on school. And then once I got to college, it was obviously focusing on school still and working a job. I was just very occupied during the typical years most people start to date. For a while there growing up, my mom was like, oh, when you go to college, you can start dating. That was something, a rule I cared about. I was like, sure, whatever. When I finally enrolled in college, that was my time to really experiment like most people do and maybe start dating, but I never got to it. I definitely had some time to date like other people do, but again, it was never something I wanted or craved. The girls are always like, oh, I want a boyfriend, and or guys, girls and guys be like, oh, I want a partner. And I don't know, this might sound weird. I've never fully understood the point of a romantic relationship. Is it just me? Hear me out. Hear me out. Mind you, this is just my opinion and based off of my needs and whatnot. Okay, let me do my makeup also. Other people desire companionship and having a partner 24/7. I don't. I'm a very independent person and I do require a lot of space. I prefer being alone, and I think that's one of the reasons why I haven't dated also. A relationship requires a lot of work and energy that I personally don't want to give. I don't want to deal with just a lot of things. I personally think relationships have more cons than pros, so I just don't even bother with that. Alright? I said about a minute ago, let's talk and do makeup, and I just fully grabbed a brush and stopped doing my makeup. Another thing, I find it hard to trust people in any sort of relationships. I haven't been done extremely dirty by friends or family members. This probably sounds like such a red flag, but even with friendships, I haven't had many close friends. As I got older, it became harder to make friends, one, and open up. I'm not too fond of being vulnerable. Even with my closest family members, I'm just that type of person. I'm more closed off, more private. I handle what I need to handle by myself if I can, especially emotional things. I think in general, people are reluctant to trust others because you're not sure they have your best interest at heart. I think people either don't care or they just want to talk about themselves, or they have ulterior motives. And yes, that's something I need to work on. That's something I am working on. Trusting a bit more to a certain degree. Not fully. I think people are what people are. Okay, now romantic relationship speaking, because I kind of got derailed a bit there. What do I want to do next? I'll do mascara now. It's going to be difficult because I have to hold the mic. We're just going to kind of wing it. Relationship speaking, I think it is very difficult to trust a man. And I'm not saying anything necessarily about my sexual orientation. That's just, I wouldn't know because I'm not in the relationship, right? But most of the hetero relationships I've seen are horrible or end horribly, mainly because of the man. The majority of the time is because the man in the relationship cheats or does some other BS. How is that supposed to make me feel safe going into a hetero relationship, for example, if most relationships I see the man ends up cheating? And I'm supposed to just fully trust
And be like an idiot.
like, no. I think it's stupid that more women that get into heterosexual relationships aren't more cautious. I don't know if that's the right word, but I'm really trying to not offend anyone here. I think I've seen women get into relationships and the man ends up cheating and they're like, oh my god, I never thought this would happen. Almost every single man cheats. And mind you, these women, their past relationships have ended because their ex-man cheated. So I don't quite get the shock. This is not to normalize it or minimize it at all. I think cheating is disgusting. 99.9% of men cheat. But we should move on. I want to do eyeliner too, bro. Okay, this is another. I think this whole video is controversial, but this is another semi controversial. Whatever. I find it very hard to be attracted to people. And I know you're probably thinking, oh, you're asexual. And perhaps, like, really, I don't care. I don't quite care to label myself or force myself to figure out my sexuality, to label myself. I just go with the flow, right? But let me do my makeup. Let's do this Rare Beauty. I'm always so scared of Rare Beauty because it is tinted. I don't feel like it blends well. ¿Qué estaba diciendo? I find it really hard to be attracted to people in general, but especially in real life. Okay, no, that sounded weird. But, okay, I was gonna say real life people. What I mean is regular people that I've gone to school with, work with, or just see in the street or at whatever location. I am mainly attracted to, listen, this is rare also, but I'm only attracted to celebrities, and I know exactly why. It's that whole limerence thing, no? You make this person out to seem better than they are. You don't really know them, so you can create whatever perception of them. And with real people, you can't really do that. I mean, you can to a certain extent. You can have a crush on a guy in school and not really know him, not really talk to him. But that's just never been my experience. Well, I'm trying to see if I've ever crushed on anyone in school. Definitely not at work. Have I crushed on anyone in school? I think I have pretty high standards. I think most people say that, especially girls. But I think mine are particularly high. The physical does matter, but it's not the most important thing. Some people get mad when people admit that physical attraction is important, but it's true. It is. For me, I'm bigger on vibes and how we connect, how our personalities mesh. But I think it's very important for me to be in a relationship with someone who impresses me. We need to have the same morals and sort of like the same mentality. It doesn't have to be exact, of course. There being a difference is good, but I need someone with cojones. You know what I mean? Like, I need someone who knows who they are and what they stand for, and they're not afraid to tell the world. I think most people I find nowadays don't share that same mentality, especially guys. They all just seem to really not care about anything. Like, the only thing running through their brain is, oh yeah, I'm gonna be attracted to that. Okay. Like, who are you? What do you like? How do you feel about the economic state?
Dude, like, oh my god, like, can we talk about like the political and economic state of the world right now?
No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I think I'll kind of wrap this up a bit. My makeup was like super simple. Let me set my under eyes and do a lip, and that's pretty much it. So I didn't actually have this written down in my thing. We're going a bit off script here. But I kind of want to talk about dating apps. Okay, one, we all know it's hard to find people, right? I've never joined a dating app, but I think the idea of them is good in a way, but kind of segueing off of that last comment I made about men and what they seem to only think about, their motivating factor. Dating apps just seem like a hookup place. And again, no offense, no shade, do what you want to do, but they seem icky to me. It seems to be just a hookup site, you know? Again, to clarify, that's great if you're not looking for a relationship. You know, you're just looking for a situationship or just to simply hook up. But that's cool and all. Whatever, do you. When I thought of this idea to make this YouTube video, I really thought it was gonna be more me doing my makeup and kind of struggling on what to say, but girl, I just went off. I kind of want to keep going. I mean, this video is now nearly 30 minutes long. Kind of crazy. I'm trying to give myself that little like cold look. On TikTok, I'm gonna post a little winter eyeshadow look. So it's kind of okay that I'm keeping it simple, at least for the YouTube video. The lip is cute, right? One last thing I do want to say is... Oh my god. Oh, I need to set my face. One last thing I do want to say is that I have seen that there are a lot of girls in particular in the same sort of situation that they've never dated before. I personally think it's good to see. I think a lot of people feel the pressure to do what everyone else is doing just to fit in or be normal. Live your life and do what you feel as long as you're not hurting anybody. Personally, I think it's a flex. I have absolutely no shame in the fact that I've never dated. I think most people, unfortunately, go through relationships. I don't want to say they end up a bit damaged, but they do end up a bit messed up and they develop new insecurities. And in a way, I'm blessed that I've never gone through something like that. This is the final look for now. Thank you for watching if you watched, and feel free to comment whatever you feel like. I'm not gonna get offended. I might get offended. I'm kidding. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.